A spotlight interview for Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame 2024. 6 inductees going in this year, and I have the pleasure of currently speaking to Scott Strahler from the class of 1998. Couple of inductees this year that I had the pleasure of broadcasting their games, Scott being one of them. So first of all, Scott, congratulations. And then for our listeners, give us the 2024 Scott Strahler situation, where you are, what you do, any connections still back here in the old home place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for the kind words there. It's a great honor to become a member of the Hall of Fame for Marietta. So 2024, where current life state has me, I live with my wife and 3 kids. We live just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. So May of the spring coming up in 2025 will be 10 years that we've lived down here. As far as what keeps me busy, those 3 kids, they're all pretty active. Our oldest is 14, and then we have 11-year daughter Olivia. She's 14. The middle child Miles is 11, and then Mason's 10, and all actively involved in sports and extracurriculars, baseball, basketball, cheer, gymnastics. That kind of keeps us on the run pretty much, I'd say 24 hours a day. We're kind of, if we're not at an event somewhere, we're planning the schedule, for where we're going to be in the next couple of weeks down the road. Then like on the work side of things, I've been, had a great opportunity that presented itself about 11 years back to work for Magnum Magnetics, great company, and been there ever since. So that's kind of life in a nutshell.
All right. And then are you doing any coaching, by the way, of those youngsters?
I do coach, yeah. So basketball, baseball. My daughter, she played basketball up until 5th grade. So at one winter, I think I coached all 3 of their teams, which was pretty hectic and fun at the same time. But, so baseball, we play baseball about 10 months out of the year, I'd say. And I kind of alternate, just trying to keep the peace amongst the boys. So I'll switch off every other season with the 2 of them. So yeah, yes, with that, I'm pretty involved with coaching as well.
From a fan standpoint, having watched you, sometimes you assume maybe that a sport was your favorite. But did you have a favorite between baseball and basketball?
I think whatever was in season, it seemed like to me, I always enjoyed. I guess growing up too, with talking to the boys too, I talk about how baseball is probably the sport that teaches the most life lessons, because as you get older, when you're playing, you're 5, 6 years old, everybody's getting 3 for 4 for the game. You're on base all the time. And as you get older, you got to kind of understand that, batting average and success and things like that, maybe it dips a little bit. It's a kind of a good life lesson to learn that you got to stick through it, through the hard times and what that presents for you. So I guess baseball was always the harder sport to play from the mental side of things, but I vastly enjoyed that, and basketball too. So I really think it's whatever was in season at the time was my favorite.
Do you know you're still hanging in those Ohio high school athletic record books?
I think my son did a Google search one time just goofing around, and I think it's in there it's some obscure stat, like most stolen bases in a game or something, top 5. I believe I'd heard that, but I do recall him tracking me down that way.
You consider yourself a stolen base guy, Scott?
I guess. I don't know. I had a little bit of speed. I think it was a Saturday. Looking back, he just looked it up recently again. I think it was like against Morgan McConnellsville, and like a Saturday we played them doubleheader or something like that. So I had decent speed, I guess. I ran track. I really liked track actually in middle school. Ran track, but then when track and baseball conflicted there, that was a pretty easy decision, I guess, to go the baseball route. But a little bit of speed, I guess, there.
That's good. It's got to make you feel good when the kids look Googling Dad to find out what he was like back in the day 25 years ago. Give me the night. So coaches, tell me who your coaches were. I feel like I know, but I don't know if you were in between Tolsden and Warner or what years those were.
Yeah, so basketball was Tolsden. Tolsden was the head coach all 4 years I was there. Coach Warner was the his assistant, kind of the defensive coordinator, I guess you'd kind of turn that over to. Warner was so I kind of had a good relationship. Both guys there. Warner was kind of that was my role, I guess, on the defense. I would be we'd roll the game plan out, and they had the top scorers from around the league, and we kind of that'd be my assignment as the week went on, was to kind of take on the other team's best player and try and limit their effectiveness there, I guess, was the way it was drawn up. But that's where Coach Warner and I had a good relationship with that, because he really took on the head of the defense. And Coach Tolles was always a great coach as well too. I think he always brought the best out of the players, and a lot of enthusiasm and excitement there. So that was the 4 years of basketball.
Scott Strahler, class of 1998, Marietta High School, 2024 inductee into the Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame, with the induction ceremonies coming up on the 28th of September. We're going to take a break, come back with a few more thoughts from our 2024 inductee, Scott Strahler, after this timeout. Johnny Wharf along with Scott Strahler, class of 1998, and I've told you this before, but just to impress upon the listeners, for a broadcaster who has seen thousands of games and athletes, one hand, if I can count 5 guys, you're one of those guys. And not to embarrass you in any way, but just loved to watch you play. Captain on your team in both baseball and basketball. Did the gravitas of that, was that something that you took serious back in the day, that they're looking for me to do a little extra?
Yeah, I think so. There's certainly a lot that goes along with that. I was, you could probably talk to all my teammates, and they'd probably never tell you I was the most rah-rah guy out there. But I think, what the captaincy meant to me was more so, show it by action, leadership through what you do, practice habits, playing hard on the court. I never really thought going out there, basketball or baseball, where I was the quickest kid or the tallest kid out there. But I think 2 things were always, I never let anybody outwork me or out-hustle me. And I think just with both of my parents, growing up, they were coaches for the longest time at Fort Fry. From the time I was 3-4 years old, I think, I spent all my free time after practice on the court or on the diamond, and just soaking in all those practices and game experience. I think, the IQ, baseball IQ, basketball IQ, I think that, along with just, working hard and hustle, were kind of the 2 things I tried to really make sure were the constants that were always there.
I'll remember just certain things. It seemed like you always had the dirtiest uniform in baseball, I will say that, and it probably speaks to the way you played the game. But from a basketball standpoint, and again for the listeners, I think I've told you this, I haven't told your old man, but I go back to one game, River Valley. It was actually Mark Bradley's first game with me doing games, I believe, and the place was upside down. Bad call. Strahler was called for the foul. Place went upside down, and everybody was going nuts, to the point where I thought some people were going to get kicked out of the game. I probably wasn't even on my best behavior as well. But the only guy settled down in that room, in that gymnasium, was Scott Strahler, who went to the blocks with his hands on his knees, and his old man in the bleachers just sitting still, taking it all in. And I thought, man, that's a demeanor right there. And I can't imagine that you would remember that specific thing as I did. But is there things when you look back like that game is so vivid in my head? Is there certain games that are vivid when you look? It's 25 years ago, right?
Right. Yeah, games like that or those types of situations certainly pop out. Probably, I believe it was my junior year, because I think we went back to East Liverpool my senior year. But junior year, we played them. We were kind of up and down. We would win a few games, lose a few, kind of probably at about the 500 mark maybe by the time East Liverpool came in. And they were always a powerhouse. They were, pretty consistently, a top 10 team every year. They could just never get out of the sectionals, because they always ran into Zanesville. They were a really good team. But I remember that game. I remember they came in with, a couple tour buses full of fans, and probably filled up half the place getting there, 2 hours before the game. And, of course, we beat them with a last-second shot at the buzzer, and that was probably the best memory I had from basketball, I think, throughout my
cool,
time there at Marietta.
That's fantastic. And then lastly, Scott, so as we look ahead to induction ceremonies, can you tell us who your presenter is going to be, and then do you still connected? I know through Magnum, but you still have family back here at home.
Yeah. So Larry Burke will be the presenter for me at the ceremony coming up. I spoke with him a day or two afterwards, and he was pretty excited about it. So that'll be great. He'll be interesting. He's always got some good stories to tell. So I'm excited for that, to see it. As far as getting back, it's not all that often, not as often as we like. The year after my wife and kids, when we moved down to the area here in North Carolina, my parents followed the following year. So they've been down here for 9 years now, and then my wife's parents have moved full time to Florida. So it's not that often. I'll get back for some work training, things like that, every once in a while. But I don't know. Life hasn't slowed down, I guess, enough to. There's always some sport and season, I guess, that kind of takes up our time on the weekends. But we're very much looking forward to it. We want to make 3-4 days out of this. We've got a lot of people to get back and see, and that's exciting for us.
All right. Well, I very much appreciate your time, appreciate the opportunity to watch you, and also appreciate me asking for 5 minutes and me taking 20. But with that being said, we look forward to seeing you on Induction Day, Saturday, September 28th, and I think the Friday before we'll have you up in the booth as well. So thanks for your time. Congratulations, and look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Looking forward to it as well.
Scott Strahler, class of 1998, inductee into the 2024 Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame ceremonies at the Lafayette Hotel on the 28th of September.